everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. You are back in the kitchen with KK, and today we're going to be exploring a plant-based burger. Black bean burgers are highly sought after, and we need to make alternatives to what's in the store. What's in the store, they have additives, preservatives, often they have seed oils, things that are inflammatory ingredients, so that they're meant to last longer. At home, they're super easy. So I am a functional and integrative health coach first, but I am a healing chef, a bioenergetic chef. So I take the science of food and I apply it to cooking. I've been cooking since I was 3, so it's just amazing. I'm in such gratitude that I can combine all this knowledge of health with my love of cooking to inspire people to get back into the kitchen, because that is where you're going to empower your health. That is where healthcare is going to change for you and your family. And that is where you're going to be able to control the ingredients, control the quality, control the amount of nutrients, utilizing your mindfulness and your newfound knowledge of what's important for the body. You can control that. So you're becoming a qualitarian. You're asking those questions. You're caring about what you put in your body. And food prep is super simple. Once you start doing it on a regular basis, you start getting stuff in your freezer and your fridge, and you've constantly got stuff available when you're busy. So it's very, very easy. This is a simple black bean burger. It's a little bit different. So my book, Simple Cooking for Vitality, you can get it on Amazon as an ebook, and that's amazing because you're going to get video links, and you get the full healing food glossary that I can put in there. This is a 300-page book, so when you purchase it from me, because I have to self-publish this, and I'm going through my 3rd printing of this, you're going to get a free food glossary. But if you look in the kidney section, this is all set by the meridians. It helps you understand the power of food, how it relates to the body. So the kidney loves the color black. So we explore that here. So my bodacious black bean burger is absolutely delicious. It's got more veggies in it. This one's going to be a little different. We're going to be using some raw beets. So I made this for my organic supper club that I do based on seasonal health, and they all love the burger. And I'm going to show you how simple we make it, because we're going to bake it. If you saw my video on the sprouted lentil walnut burger, also incredible. These are great plant-based because you can actually freeze them and you can put them on a bed of greens. Like, you bring this to work. This is energy to give you nutrients that you need at lunchtime. It's just super great. So I'm going to show you how simple this is to make, utilizing a food processor, which you must have. And I'll show you the one that I use. We're going to be blending up. You do not need any oat flour. If you see my videos on oats, you know that I only buy one brand. Food Babe also loves and qualifies this brand because it is certified non-glyphosate, non-GMO. We need that. And so this is a private brand, but they have it everywhere now. So you can find this. And we're going to be blending this up and not adding eggs to this. We're going to be using flax. And flax, as you know, is a great form of plant-based omega-3s, ALA. So we need different ingredients here. Now, beets are amazing for nitric oxide production. I love raw beets. I have a raw beet berry smoothie recipe that you can check back into. My clients love this. First of all, it's bright red, but it's a way to get raw beets. Raw beets are a natural vasodilator, helping you to produce nitric oxide naturally, which is it's the miracle molecule that your body needs to do so many things, especially helpful for your heart. That's why red is the color for the heart. Beets are fantastic. So we're getting them in here. So we're adding, but it's going to make the burger kind of reddish, and that's what you want, right, for a plant-based burger. And then we're using black rice. You know, I'm a fan of only a couple rice. I don't do any white rice, brown rice, marginal. These are not foods that are necessary when you're not starving, when you have plenty of food, if you have elevated sugar levels. So, but what we have here is a lot of anthocyanins. That is an antioxidant that gives us this deep purple black color. So we're utilizing what's called forbidden rice because the emperors saved this for themselves. So it's good enough for you. Get black rice. I like black rice and red rice. We're going to use some of this and actually cook a little bit more. That way you have some to use for something else. If you're adding this into a salad, then you're going to have a little bit more sustenance if you need to get filled up, and some more antioxidants and some more texture. Really great. Black beans. I do prefer the Edam brand, and so does Dr. Gundry, who talks about the lectins in the body. Beans need to be properly pressure cooked. Once you get your gut sorted out, I work with a lot of clients on helping them understand what causes SIBO, how to get rid of it, and how to heal the gut. And once you do, you can take in more legumes, which are so important in giving you really easy, stable blood sugar. That's what we need. And energy. Stable blood sugar means stable energy for a long time, not spikes of blood sugar that drop you. And your pancreas is trying to keep up with insulin, and your insulin's not working anymore. So it's a whole show, right? So we've got all this black and these deep reds. So this is wonderful for kidneys and for heart. We're putting in some garlic, and we're going to be using onions and really simple spices. We don't use any soy sauce in my environment here. Coconut aminos is a great alternative to that. I like the Coconut Secret brand. They're the original. So let's get rocking. We need a big dish here. The oven is on 350. There's a sheet over there with parchment paper lined. That's where we're going to put the burgers when they're done. First up, we're going to be grinding up. Now you can use your food processor, or you can just use this little blender. If I had more to do, like when I'm making my muffins, like 2 cups, I use my little bit larger blender. And in a matter of seconds, you've got really nice, fine oat flour, right? Okay, so we're using a 1/2 cup of oats here. That's going to help provide a little bit of binding. It's going to absorb some of the moisture. I just have my larger ice blade on this. See how quick that was? That's literally 3 seconds. And that's how quick we have some oat flour ready to go. So let's just put it in a separate dish for now. All right, so that's the only thing that we need this for. So I'm going to get this out of the way. And we're going to bring over the food processor. You can even use the food processor to chop up your onions. So it depends on if you want the onions a little bit chunkier or a little bit finer. So I'm going to show you how to cut them so that they're not too big and they're not too small. But you can also just put the blade in there and do them. We've got the shredder blade in there first. And the shredder blade is going to be for the beets. So we're going to get those done. So these are organic beets. You want organic beets. Beets are grown in the ground. You want to make sure the soil doesn't have a lot of the chemicals going into it. Otherwise, it just soaks right in. That's what the root vegetables need to be organic. So this is what they look like prior to. You just cut the top and the bottom off. You can peel them or use a knife and just peel them. A paring knife like this size. So I chose to peel them this time. And then once they're peeled, I cut them into 6 pieces. So they're relatively small. And we're just going to feed them right into, so this is the KitchenAid food processor. What I love about this one, and I think that you can get it for only like 69 bucks, the granite one on Amazon, is that it's a wide base and the blade is superior to a lot of them that I've seen. So I do love this. It's a wide base. It lets you get down in there. It's not tall and skinny, which I don't prefer. So we're going to be using the shredding top here. We don't need the fine shred. The beets, I think they'll be fine enough just with the regular one. I think that's what I've always used. So you just load them in here. 1 second, let me grab the little plunger. So we need this to push everything down. So this is how quick. I think I saw a piece go flying. So you don't have to worry about rinsing this out because we're going to be, everything's going to be mushed together anyway at some point. So you got a few big pieces here. You can save those for something else. I'm just going to put them over here. It stains everything. So we'll just give the top rinse. So instead of red food coloring with dyes and chemicals, this was the original red food coloring. In fact, I've made a black, well, you can use it in the cake. Okay, instead of red food coloring. So anyway, beets are amazing. All right, so here we go. One medium size beet is going to give you about, I think I might want a larger bowl. So hold on 1 second. Let me get a larger prep bowl here. Okay, that was a perfect break so that I could just put away a few things and rinse that beet, the beet shredder. So let's get all of the beets in here. And if you have these little silicone spatulas, they are perfect for so many things that are needed to be made in your food processor. There's lots of them in my cookbook. So I'm not going to rinse that out because we're just going to be putting other stuff in there anyway, which is fine. So let's get these beets, delicious beets, out of the way. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to whip up the beans and the rice. We're going to make a paste out of them and add them into the beets, whip it around, get all the spices in there. So we need the big blade. This is what I mean by the blade. This blade is solid and large, much better than other ones that I've seen. So let's get, this is 1 can of beans, keeping it nice and simple. And the way I cook the black beans is I did 2 cups of liquid, and I like to use part broth, and just gives a little more flavor, and 1 cup of black beans. And you just cook that as directed, and you get this amount. That's why rice feeds starving nations, because you get so much rice just with a small amount. Right, so let's get this into a nice paste. So that is going. What I'd like to add to this is the flax. We make a flax egg here. Only so much space when I'm making these videos. So we're gonna use at least 2 heaping tablespoons of flaxseed. This is what this scoop is. I keep it in there so I can use it in my smoothies and other things. And a 1/4 cup of filtered water. So I have it always over here in my picture. We're just going to let this get thick. You know, I use flax eggs in so many things, my baked items. It's perfect. Why am I not using eggs? It's not because of the cholesterol. It's a good form of protein if you can absorb it. However, so many people today have an outrageous amount of autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune that mimics Lyme, Epstein-Barr. Unfortunately, these viruses that love to live in the liver, they also love to live off and get worse with egg protein. So that is one of the, and I've noticed it myself, by backing away from it, symptoms can alleviate. We want to, they don't make anything to get rid of viruses in your body. Your immune system has to deal with it. So we don't want to feed them. That's why I've cut out eggs. That's your choice. Okay. If you do use eggs, make sure you're using 100% pasture raised. All right. All right, this is already thick, which is awesome. So I'm just going to take the top off so none of it smears down the side. So we'll get this in. And I'm even going to add, once we get this, I'm going to add some of the black beans. I just tilt this a little bit. If there's not quite enough in there, why don't you turn into a nice paste? Okay, so it's already looking pasty. So I'll show you some. That's the paste. So that's how these burgers were going to stick together. Now we're going to add in the black beans, continue making the paste. I'm going to do a half a cup first at a time. Black rice is so rich and so different than white rice will spike your blood sugar. So sorry. It's so rich and amazing. So a lot of this is using the food processor. So you need one. Very simple. Makes your life easy. Now this paste is just getting thicker, right? But that's what we want. Okay, we're gonna add 1 more cup of the black rice. 1 heaping cup, it's fine. We need at least 1 heaping cup, all right? And that's what we got. I put it in a half a cup at a time. Now, I can't remember if I just blended in or if I actually put some of the shredded beet in. So this is up to you because these are big shreds. So let's go ahead and put some right in here, like half, and then leave half of it just like it is. That'll kind of work it in to the whole project here. Keep a nice blend. Yeah, super smart. Yeah, so now it's taking a different color and shape here. Beautiful, right? So you want it to look a little bit more like meat, and that's what that red does. No food coloring, no junk. All right, so now we're gonna get all of this into the bowl, and we're gonna add in the onion as well and all of the spices. So let's get this stuff out of the way. So this comes off. It's got a nice big open base. That's why I love this KitchenAid food processor. This is only a 7 cup. That's really all you need. That's all I've had. They make larger ones. You don't need a larger than that, seriously. Okay, so this all comes out as a paste. It's going into the prep bowl. Because there's no raw eggs in here. If you want to taste it, you can. So perfect for protein, all right? Black beans have an excellent source of protein that's easy to digest. The whole world has gone nuts over protein, too much. People are not lacking protein, they are lacking minerals, and minerals are required for enzyme production, tissue repair, and the like. When I'm working with my clients one-on-one, I show them a liquid mineral private one I've been taking for 30 years. A little bit of really high quality sea salt also is helpful. Right, I don't think we need this, so let's get the cover on. It's a little messy. We'll clean that up after. We're going to add in the oats. And now I'm going to cut up the onion for you. So we need a half of an onion. I'm going to save part of this. I already have some over there. So when you cut the top and the bottom off, it lays nice and flat. That way you can cut through it. Taking off the paper here. when I meal prep often because I do private cooking for some of my clients. And I learned different ways to do things a lot faster than I used to. When I store it in a bag, I put some paper towel in there to absorb the moisture, but I use my onions very quickly. They don't just sit around. Now, what I do, if I'm going to do it like this, I'm going to cut it into several slices, smaller. So it depends on how big you want it. So let's get it all cut. Just leave it all together here. That's going to help you. Now it's all stacked, right? Now just cut through. Now this is a fine bladed knife. That's what you want for this. You don't really want your chef's knife for this. It's a little too thick. Get your fingers out of the way. When it gets to that point, just slide it down like that. Keep chopping. Now these pieces are perfect if you want a little bit of texture. You can run the knife through them if you feel like anything's a little too large. Now, the other option is you can put them right into the food processor. They're going to be smaller. You're going to have some onion juice in the whole mix. But if you don't want chunks, I kind of wanted chunks in this. So let's get those added. Now we've got a lot of beautiful onions. Now, if you did choose to put them into the food processor, you could also do the garlic. So about 4 cloves is great unless you hate garlic. If the ends of the garlic clove, I use so much garlic, I do buy it pre-done. So some people might not think that's great, but I use it so often that that's just the way I roll with that, unless I'm roasting an entire clove. So we're just going to rough chop this here. You can use a chef's knife for this, or just keep using the same knife that you've been using. Just rock it through. The reason that we're doing it smaller, just so that you have more flavor throughout. You can also add some garlic powder to this, the herb. Right, so now we have that in there. So next up, we're going to be getting in all of the spices here. Of course, we've got some, I use a pink Himalayan sea salt. I use a cracked black pepper, and need 2 tablespoons of the coconut aminos. I love these from Williams Sonoma because there's larger sizes, not just the 1/4, 1/2, 1 teaspoon, and 1 tablespoon. So you've got other sizes like 1.5, 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon. All right, let's get all that in there. 2 teaspoons. They have other sizes, which are fantastic. Probably about 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. The salt a little less. Just kind of use your guide here. This is a great pepper mill from Sur La Table. All right, so thyme. Let me look at what I wrote down in my notes. Yeah, about a teaspoon of cumin, coriander, smoked paprika, thyme, and two tablespoons of coconut nibs. Yeah, so we need a teaspoon. I use the 1/2 teaspoon because it fits right into the jar real easily. Just gonna take the tops off here. So we need 2 of these, since this is a 1/2. So fresh thyme you could also use. We're gonna add in some fresh parsley at the end. Cumin. Coriander. Most people don't use coriander. This is a great way to use it. I also use it in my bison farm fresh stew. Fantastic. You could just also put chili powder in here as well. We're using a smoked paprika, which is great. A lot of people just use regular paprika often. So it's a great way to use some smoked paprika for a fun flavor. All right, those are all the spices. The smoked paprika smells incredible, like a smokehouse meat. Okay, I'm going to be right back because I want to rinse out some of these things before they dry because you know I'm a neat chef here. And I really do recommend that you stay nice and neat when you are cooking. So I'll be So I highly recommend cleaning as you go. It keeps you stress-free, it keeps you in control. Things are looking nice and neat, and that is part of the whole thing when you're cooking. It's a creative project, but you don't want stuff everywhere because that starts to make you feel stressful. Clutter always leads to stress. So this is perfect. Wow, this is smelling really amazing. So the chunks of onions are new because I know that I blended them up smaller last time, but I kind of like it. It's giving it like that burger look, you know, when you put in chopped onion. Here you go. Hope you can see this. Beautiful color. Just moist enough. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So now we're going to add in the parsley. I keep it in jars, as you know, so it's ready to rock and roll. We're going to prune this just like it's a little tree, little edges. Then we're going to chop some right into the mix. I love having my spices ready to go, my live ones, because this is where you're getting massive amounts of phytonutrients. These are plant protective compounds. These are your micronutrients. These are your vitamins, your minerals. In excess amount, herbs are loaded. They're your secret weapon to sauce having or things, recipes having flavor. This is the flavor, no flavor packets. Flavor packets started getting out of control in the 70s with all the hamburger helper, the this, the that. The MSG has been used for centuries because they want you to taste, make sure you think anything tastes good. Okay, it's herbs that do it. Now the color of this is perfect now with some green added in. You got life. Life is what gives food energy. Organic food has more life energy, photon energy than food that's put on the shelf or not picked or chemicalized food. So that's all part of it. All right, so this little spatula is gold. Get some of them if you do not have them. We're going to be using a half cup measure. I think I have one out. I thought I was using one here somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. It was in the rice. Mmm. If you haven't tried black rice, you have to. It's so rich and unique. We don't need this, so let's get this down. Here's our parchment paper. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we can get 8 on here, but let's see how we do. So this is kind of like my little secret. You use a half cup measure. That way you get the same amount and you don't have to get your hands all messy making these. I'm just going to plop it onto the pan. Use the back side to tap it down and you got a burger. So genius, right? Super easy, no mess. And then you're going to bake these. And you're going to bake them. And these meal prep very well. You can freeze them even. But like I said, so I don't do gluten. And I especially wouldn't use my, I wouldn't be buying burgers. That just adds in extra blood sugar spiking stuff you don't need. You can green style these burgers or just put toppings on them or add it to the top of a salad. It's just delightful. I would top them with, we'll show you when they're done, sliced up red onion, some of my pesto, my friend who makes the fermentlicious fermented foods, so many different amazing ones. Now you're getting that good microbiome feeding bacteria. We're going to get 6 on here. And honestly, that's about what it makes. So this makes 6 really large burgers. So this is a quarter pounder. That's what half a cup is. 1 pound, 16 ounces. 1 cup is 8 Okay, so it's a half pound. So quarter pounder, you're getting in a half a cup. So these are looking gorgeous, amazing. So let's just get the rest of this onto these so we're not wasting any. So some of my fingers are getting messy, but not too much. So this is only the second time that I've made these. But trust me, they're going to taste amazing with all those delicious spices in there. And then the toppings you can put on over a green salad, just going to fill you up, fill you with energy, and that's what you want. Okay, we're going to get them into the oven. I have it on 350, uh, maybe a little longer and slower. 375 might be okay too. Probably 375 will be okay. I'm going to turn it up, so I am going to put it on for 375 for 20 minutes. We're going to check it, and we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in today. We're having fun, and give me a thumbs up if you love having fun with me here. Let's do this. Buzzer's going off. They smell amazing. Look at these gorgeous beauties. So I left them in for 20 minutes at 375, and then I decided to, based on thickness, I decided to let them cook a little bit longer, 5 more minutes, so a total of 25 minutes. I'm going to show you how we're going to put this together. Now, I'm going to an event tonight. I'm going to a sound bowl event prior to the lunar eclipse this weekend. It's going to be incredible. Looking forward to it. So I wanted to get this done and have something delicious, nutrient dense before I went. I always have salad prepped. I make it in a big bowl. I do baby arugula, I'll do watercress, I'll do romaine, I'll do radishes, I'll do carrots, I'll do herbs. So it's all ready to go. There's no dressing, so it lasts perfectly. So I have a beautiful bed. Look at these gorgeous radishes that I put through the mandolin. Amazing. Radish has a plant compound perfect for cleaning up your liver. Liver needs to do about 3,000 things a day. So we want to really help it out. So just this little Pyrex dish here, I think this is a 4 cup, is great. This 6 cup is also excellent. I do a lot of salad prep in here, but this is where we're going to put the burgers. You can generally get, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 in here. So what am I going to put on top? We're putting this in a dish. So let me just get a burger out. They're still warm, but I'm going to put it on top of the salad. Fine. We'll let them cool before. You see how perfect this is? You don't have to put it in a pan. No oils added. So now you fit it right in the middle of the salad. I love red onion loaded with antioxidants. That's a red. I generally eat red onions raw. Super high antimicrobial. In the old days, they kept onions to heal the body on them. So I'm going to line up some there, nice looking. This is actually a mustard horseradish that I put together, which I love. That's what I want on my burger. Maybe you want honey mustard, maybe you want, just don't buy condiments with additives, preservatives, and seed oils like soybean oils or canola. I also want some fresh cilantro on this. So let's just cut off some here. We know that cilantro is a natural chelator of mercury, really great compounds of antioxidants. So look how beautiful this looks. It's kind of hidden in all the greens here. Oh my gosh. So I always have dressings prepped. You see me make lots of them. A creamy avocado cilantro will go here. A lemon, ginger, citrus, garlic dressing will go great here. And And that's it. We're done. And we're going to meal prep these. So once this cools just a little bit, I'm going to put them in here. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. And then I might freeze a couple of them in a smaller one. So that's it. You've got this gorgeous burger that you baked and put together, filled with nutrients and so satisfying to your body, giving you constant energy. That's what you want. When you clean up your food, you're naturally going to lose weight. You lose your cravings and you're not hungry because you have normal food. That means you don't have to go to snacks. People that live on snacks don't eat real food. And those processed snacks are empty, meaning your body doesn't register them as anything. You're overfed, your body is starving, it's constantly hungry for something. So thanks for tuning in today for this easy black bean beet burger. It's gorgeous. And thanks to everyone. Bye-bye.